Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Luzain Habibah Al-Athar from English Education Program at Institut Pendidikan Indonesia Garut. So now, I will present a videos for fulfill my final assignment on the Microteaching course, specifically expanding skill. Happy watching! So student, as I was telling you before, after we learn about written text, today we will learn about narrative text. So great! Who want to tell me what the difference between narrative and written text? So please, Julia. Great, Julia. Narrative text is include of complication, and written text is the story without complication. So next, we will learn about the definition and the social function of narrative text. Who want to explain what the definition of narrative text? Please, Jaskia. Great. Narrative text is some meaning with imaginative story, and the social function is? Who want to tell me? Please. Okay, nothing. No problem. Next slide. The definition of narrative text is a type of text that tells a chronological story in the past tense, and the social function of narrative text is to entertain the readers through the amusing story. Next, there are three types of narrative text. The first is fairy tales. Okay, fairy tales. Who want to give an example about fairy tale story? Please, Nadila. Great. For example, fairy tale story is Tinkerbell story, and the next is mysteries, and the next is horror story, and the fourth is science fiction. We'll have to read a book from Terralia's book. Nothing? Okay, Terralia's writing a bunch of story. For example, Hujan. The story is tells about the something that will be in the future. Okay, the next is fables. Fables tell story. Also, the characteristic of the story is animal. And the last is folklore. Folklore include legend, mysteries, okay, next, there are four generic structure of narrative text. The first is orientation. Orientation is introduce the characters in the story as well as the background of the story, which includes place, time, atmosphere, and the social condition of the story. And the next is complication. Complication is contains problem that occurs in story. Complication are divided into three parts of the story. The first is rising action. Rising action. The second is climax, script. And the last is falling action. So next, after we have complication, exactly we have a resolution. Resolution contains the completion or end of narrative text story. A story can close with a happy ending, sad ending, or cliffhanger. And the last part of narrative text is reorientation. Reorientation, it is the optional part of the narrative text, and the reorientation is part of the narrative text structure, usually contain a conclusion, a moral value, or a change in characters at the end of story. And the next is language features of narrative text. There are 4 language features of narrative text. The first is using simple past tense. Okay, for example, the legend of Malin Kundang, you can find it into your book, page 1053. A long time ago, in a small village near the beach in West Sumatra, lived a woman and her son, Malin Kundang. Malin Kundang and his mother had to leave us. It is the part of using simple past tense. Okay, and the second is using adverb of the time. For example, using adverb of the time, a long time ago, long time ago. It is the kind of adverb of the time. Okay. Third, using adjective. Do you know what adjective? Yes, adjective. The part of speech, yes. For example, adjective. Malin Kundang was healthy, diligent, and strong boy. It is adjective part. And the last is using noun phrases. Do you know what noun phrases? Yes, usually noun phrases is included by adjective and noun. So help me to find the noun phrases in your book. One day when Malin Kundang was sailing, he saw a merchant ship being raided by a band of pirates. With his bravery, Malin Kundang helped the merchant defeat the pirates. To thank him, the merchant allowed Malin Kundang to sail with him. Malin Kundang agreed in the hope to get better life. He lived with his mother alone. Many years later, as this is the kind of adverb of the time, Malin Kundang became wealthy. He had a huge ship. Huge ship. It is a noun phrases. Huge and ship. Okay. So student, after we learned about narrative text, let me give you a task. You can find it into your book. Page 153, the narrative text, The Legend of Malin Kundang and Isengbosi Stories. I will ask you to make a generic structure of that story. Can you analyze this and give it to me? You can tell me where is the orientation, complication, resolution, and the reorientation of the story. Okay? Anyone want to ask me about narrative text? Nothing? That is clear? Do you understand? So thank you. Next week I will ask you to complete your task about narrative text. Okay, I think it's enough for today, student. Thank you for attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.